If you play this game, you know that jet sweeps are pretty hard to stop because their defenses aren't programmed very well to stop it. So to me, the jet touch pass from this formation is probably the best version of that in the entire game. Should have an easy walk-in touchdown as we just walk down the field against one of the best defenses in the entire game on Heisman level. And now we're down to our 4th-string running back and a guy named Frew with a bunch of 1-star recruits against a bunch of 5-star recruits. If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable coins for your college football 25 team, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Welcome back, Money Team. This is Madden Money Shots. Snipping out the college cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys the hardest run plays to stop in college football 25. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section. And if you guys need more help or more money plays, a lot of the plays I'm going to show you guys come from my ebooks directly. So if you guys want more plays to surround these run plays with, you can download any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Before I get into the video, I'm also going to show that this difficulty is set to Heisman. I'm going to be going against the toughest defense in the game in Ohio State, but it's not going to matter because these plays are pretty unstoppable. Now, this first play comes from my Alabama offensive ebook, and it's a rare formation called the F twins over. If you play this game, you know that jet sweeps are pretty hard to stop because their defenses aren't programmed very well to stop it. So to me, the jet touch pass from this formation is probably the best version of that in the entire game. Just make sure you have your fastest receivers on the field, and also make sure that you flip this play so that you're running this to the widest side of the field, because ultimately that's going to be the most important thing when it comes to this play. On this first play, though, it looks like we might have a cover 2 man as these cornerbacks are down pretty close to the line of scrimmage. You're also going to have more success if you run this where they're more backed off and give you more space. Defenses where they have more of a look where the cornerbacks are back is going to give you a little bit more time to get to that side of the field, as it looks like we have a cover 2 man on the first 2 plays, although we did get a little bit of luck there that it tended to kind of glitch out that cornerback and let me get the edge. So like on this play here, it looks like it might be more of a cover 3. You can see that outside cornerback's really backed off, so I just have to get to that area before that cornerback gets down. And you can see how the blocking just springs me for some very easy runs, as I could have got maybe to the house there if I could have got outside a little bit more. But I would say if you keep this in your audible plays, at any point in time you see that cornerback outside backed off like he is here, that's going to be the perfect opportunity to run this play. And you can see how he's just way too far to make any type of difference in the play. But it's still to the point where I'm trying to get to that outside cornerback. He's the one that's the guy that I have to worry about. And you can see how 81 just gets downfield and gets onto that safety, giving me a lot of extra blocking. So ultimately, this is probably the worst defense to go against. This is the cover 0, as these safeties and linebackers are going to be playing down to the point where it's going to make it difficult to get outside. But we're going to do that anyway. And you can see we can just sprint to the edge and have a lot of successes. We're averaging about 10 yards a carry every single time. Now that we're close to the goal line, I can't tell if this is a cover 2 man or this is just the way the defense is going to react, because the closer you get to the goal line, the tighter the cornerbacks get. But you can see it's still not going to stop me as we score on the very next play. Next up, we got a play that I already showed from the trio unbalanced in my Sam Houston offense, once again on my Join Now community tab and my Patreon. And that play is called the QB slot option, as I did a full breakdown of this offense, including the verticals, which is a 1-play touchdown against just about everything. For this play here, because of the formation, number one, I typically want to run to the open side of the field, which will give me a little bit more space. But you're going to see how I can essentially run this to the outside against a look like this, because there's no cornerback out here. So on this play, auto handoff, take it wide. You can see here that we have nothing but space out here, even though the defensive end did technically cut me off. But you can see how that's a very good play. And like I said, it's all based off the formation. On this play, though, because of the way this formation spreads, a lot of times you're just going to have a run right up the middle, as there's just nothing here on the second level. All the linebackers are spread out to the receivers, and that's pretty much the play. But we do have the option to hold the A button down or the X button with your Xbox or PlayStation key with the quarterback, and I totally forced it there just to show that I could do it. But ultimately, you can always get that edge as long as that read defender doesn't hold the way that he does. On this play here, once again, not a lot of second level defenders, so we're going to go ahead, we're just going to keep with the running back. That's really what makes this so good anyway, as I have 6 guys in the box. So if I have less than 5 in the box on defense, I could hold it with the running back every single time. And you see how we're ripping off 10+ yard runs against the best defense in the game. On this look here, though, where we finally have 6 in the box to match, I'm going to hold with the quarterback, and we can either pitch with the LB or the L1 or the left bumper, or we could actually keep with the quarterback. But there you saw how the read defender made that kind of impossible. But it doesn't really matter, because once again, we have no guys in the middle here. Should have an easy walk-in touchdown, as we just walk down the field against one of the best defenses in the entire game on Heisman level. Next up, I have another offense out of my upcoming Mean Green offensive ebook, although I already broke this down on my Join Now community tab and my Patreon. And the formation is called the Gun Bunch Quads Open, as this here is another formation that really spreads out the defense and allows for this quarterback blast to be a very good play. So let's go and pick that. You're just going to make sure that you have some speed at quarterback, but you'll notice that anytime you have less than 5 defenders or 5 defenders like we have here, you're going to have a very easy time to run the ball. I'm just going to flip the play so I can try to run towards the wider gap. And you can see how you might want to set your ball carrier to conservative when it comes to running with the quarterback, but this is going to be a very consistent run. So we're going to do that since I don't plan on having anybody else run the ball, and quarterbacks are programmed to fumble a lot more. So we're going to go to conservative here to turn that off. And this is pretty much the play. You can see how this spreads the defense here. Once again, we only got 4 defensive linemen. This will not necessarily work if there's more than 4 or 5 defensive linemen in the box, though. So that's why this is typically part of an offense when I would run this as something as more of an audible play rather than the main play. But you can see how we're having a lot of success. Once again, there's nothing here. I don't know, if I have a really fast quarterback, I might be able to take off and score a touchdown against a look like that. And this is pretty much the play, as this entire offense is very hard to stop based off of the spread of this formation, as that's pretty typical when it comes to college. You really only have to worry about the health of the quarterback at this point, as you might normally want to substitute out a running back if you're running like this, but you don't necessarily have the option when it comes to the quarterback. As you can see, the fact that it's a blast and not a draw too, I don't really lose a lot off the acceleration. And ultimately, I'm more concerned with the fact that my quarterback's getting tired and going to have a chance of getting hurt than anything as we get to 4th and inches. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put in our backup quarterback just for a play or two to give him a break, or give him a breather. And you can see how we're still getting, very big runs and very big carries. It's really not that difficult. This is just a super easy run play. And if you're on a team that has a backup quarterback like this, I mean, he's not even that fast. He's only 73 speed, but we're still getting it done. As most college teams have more than one good quarterback anyway, and you see we get that double team right at the point of attack. I mean, this is just easy mode right here. We're going to bring our starter back in just to make sure that he finishes the drive. As you'll see, the opponent is going to start pinching the line here, but that's not going to get anything done as we still are not getting very fast runs from our starting quarterback. But we're going to finish it off with him anyway, as this is just easy mode at this point, as there's just not a lot that your defense can do, because even if you were to bring these guys into the box, they're still going to leave the receivers wide open on the outside, which is something that I went over in a previous video. So I'll have that on screen at the end of the video if you guys want to check that out. This next play here is kind of rare in college football, as the pro style offense. It's only found in 2 different playbooks, and that's Kansas State and Michigan. The formation itself is the I form close, and the play is just going to be a simple power O. What makes this play so unique is the fact that I could flip this play with the right stick and run it like a trap run. And you'll notice how it'll kick the defensive end outside and let me run inside before I can ultimately go back outside anyway for another very big run. If I want to go to the strong side, I can. But you'll notice that anytime that defensive end is out wider than my left tackle, it's going to kick him out even further and just make this a very easy play, as it almost treats it like a wham block that you might see in a trap play. Now in this look here, they're kind of packing that box tight, so we're just going to go to the strong side, because like I said, I do have the option to do that, and you can see how it's much more difficult when we go to that in that direction. So if I go ahead and I just go back to my original read and flip the play, now since everybody's on the strong side, you're going to see how this guy gets wham blocked, blown up, and I can get outside, although they're actually ran to my blocker, so that's kind of on me. I'm going to do that one more time. Like I said, this is not the look I want because we do have an extra defender there, but that's okay, as we're still going to get through, because like I said, this is not, I mean, if he wasn't there, I could have got outside, but since he was there, I can just run it inside, no real problems. This next play here, once again, all the guys are on the strong side, so we're just going to flip it with the right stick once again, go to the weak side. You can see how that guy gets kicked out every single time, and we just have nothing but good blocks. And like I said, this only works because I'm flipping with the right stick. If you try to run it in the direction that's designed, it's not going to be very effective. As you can see there, I mean, there's a couple times I could have broke this to the house. I'm just going to go weak side every single time. It doesn't really matter. That, to me, it's just the better way to go. And you can see how we're just consistently chewing the clock every single time, chewing up the yards. There's nothing this defense can really do. We'll go strong side one more time just to show you can do that, but I ultimately don't feel like that's the way. As you can see, every time I do that, the defensive end, the same defensive end blows it up. So to me, it's really not worth going in that direction. Even on a play like this where we have an extra defender in the box, I'm still going to run it in that direction, and we're still going to have a lot more success than if we run to the actual strong side. And they're really packing the box now. I always have the option, too, if I want to motion this guy across, as that will help. And you can see how we flipped the play entirely. So doing that will help to get me to that next level, as I did need the extra help on this 3rd and long. As we get one more easy carry, hopefully, and we just walk that in standing up without even being touched. And then last but not least, we're switching over to a formation that's only found in 4 different playbooks. I'm going to be using Air Force, but it's also found in Memphis, Northwestern, and Troy. And that's the heavy Maryland I. This particular play here is once again going to be the Power O, as I find this is going to be one of the best versions in this formation. as you not only have two leading blockers, but you also have a pulling guard in the direction of travel. So all you really have to do here is motion one of these guys out, which is really optional. As you can see here, I pull an extra defender across, so it's probably best not to do that. From time to time against zone, it will be the best call. And you'll notice how I just have a ridiculous amount of blocking, as we have two fullbacks essentially and a pulling guard. This is another play where it's an even formation, so you can really flip it and go in either direction, and your opponent's not going to have any idea where you're going. But it's ultimately all about just so much blocking on the field here. I mean, I even against a great defense like this, it's not going to matter. I also want to make sure I'm running it to the open side of the field, and this looks like a zone. So like I said, I'll try motioning out one of these fullbacks just to get a little bit of a head start. Although I find it's best to motion out the behind fullback, because I ultimately want him to get to the line a little bit quicker, and you'll see how he'll get into his block a little bit faster now, although there we didn't necessarily have the edge like I wanted. So motions are not required. As you can see here, this is probably a cover 4. Like I said, I just mess with it to see if I can get an advantage, but if I can, I'm going to motion right back. As you can see right there, we're swapping 2 defenders for 1. I don't want to do that. As you can see here, once again, the guard was like keeping me from getting to the edge there. So right here, once again, running away from that extra defender, just so we don't have a blocking mismatch. And you can see how my running back's probably getting a little bit tired, but we're having success every single time. So I have to monitor that, and I might have to replace him, as we have an even look here. So once again, I'm going to flip it, run to the open side of the field, motion this guy out so he can get on his block a little bit quicker. And you can see how nobody motions across to match him, giving me an opportunity for another blocking advantage as we get another first down. I think fatigue has been a bigger issue more than anything, as we have the ability here to pick up that first down just barely and keep this drive alive. As Air Force here doesn't necessarily have the best players, but we are onto our 3rd string running back right now as well, which is not, they definitely don't have a ton of speed, but I'm still having a lot of success. As you can see, it's really the run play more than the players. And we still don't have our starting running back in there, but that's fine, because Gibbs reminds me of Gibbs from the Lions, so maybe he could do a little Jahmyr Gibbs impression and get me this touchdown. And now we're down to our 4th string running back and a guy named Frew, as I'm hoping he could go through or around the line for another easy touchdown. As we're going to end the video there. As you can see, against a heavily outmatched with a bunch of 1-star recruits against a bunch of 5-star recruits, it doesn't matter. It's still the same. So I'm going to end the video there. If you guys want to see more videos I made like this, I made some videos about RPO plays, and I made videos about a lot of the offenses that I showed you guys today. So I'll have that pop up on my screen. Just click links. Until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.